Greetings, greetings. We are live on Facebook. Let's get old Instagram happening. Greetings, 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 everyone. I'm very bright on Facebook today. Okay, it may just be bright. It may just be bright. Good morning. I have a lot to get through. I always have a lot to get through. What's up, Inmar? What's up, Pay? What's up? Oh, I can't read. Stronger glasses are required. If anybody knows a good optician in Los Angeles, please let me know. Okay, lots to get through today. I'm sure everybody in real estate is aware that there is a kind of a shift occurring. We are going through a change. I don't think it's anything to be scared of. I don't think it's anything to be freaked out about. There are many of us, hopefully some people who have tuned in today who have survived and flourished in the last, I'm not even going to say downturn. We're really just at the end of a cycle. Certainly here in Los Angeles, we're at the end of a cycle. And I don't think it's anything to be worried about. But what we need to do is we need to adapt and we need to evolve. And that is exactly what today is about. The number one best asset in the economic shift is all what this mantra is about. And plus, at the end of it, I'm going to give you the three best tools to help you flourish and win. But I want to just kind of share a few thoughts as before we kind of dive into it, which is, you know, many of us who have been in real estate for a while, there's a lot of people who haven't. There's a lot of people who have joined between 2010 and now. So the industry is very, very full. There's a lot of lovely, lovely young people, a lot of lovely old people, and a lot of mediumly aged people in the industry across the United States right now and across the world. But this is focused on the United States. Here's one thing to remember. We have all had it really good now for a decade. The economy crashed in 2008, so we've really been on an upward trend. And then we got London in the house. What's up, David? What's up, mate? There was the crash, the economic crash, the global economic crash, which I don't think we are going to see again in our lifetimes, hopefully. It was an anomaly. It was like the 20s. I'm going to be talking about the 20s a little bit later in the mantra. But the thing to note is good times cannot go on forever. We've had a decade of growth. The economy in the United States is, let me just dial up my notes, is pretty strong. And you just can't keep moving in one way. You have to, for any economic system to work, there has to be the natural ebb and flow, the ebb and flow. And we have had in real estate in America, and especially in Los Angeles, we have had a phenomenal run. And that is about to change. Now, how much it's going to change, I don't know. I think in the Los Angeles area itself, probably not that much. I think we're going to see some rumblings. What I think there is going to be a perception shift. And I think that there will be a decline. In Los Angeles, for example, we're already seeing a lot of houses getting reduced. We're seeing longer days on the market. We're seeing an economic shift, which is occurring. Now, everyone to some degree in real estate has been winning, right? It's been kind of, if you've been in real estate for the past decade, you've been able to trip over deals because real estate has been the thing that everybody wants to invest in. And so, anybody in the business, even if you didn't really work your tail off, you could still trip over a few deals. But now, next year, it is going to shift into those who have the skills to procure business out of the air, right? I want to talk about the 20s and 30s for a second, because not that we are hopefully going to be that drastic a shift, but very much what happened in the 1920s and very much what happened in 2008 is people were like, this is awesome, it's great. In the case of 2008, it was, I'm going to buy my third investment property for no money down, it's brilliant. Let's pop the champagne. And then, of course, when there was an economic shift, nobody really saw it coming. There was a very small handful of people who saw it coming, and I happened to be one of those people. Not that I'm any great soothsayer, it just didn't make sense that people could keep continually buying properties for 100% down. I figured it's going to pop at some time. My spidey sense has been going off for the past year and a half, maybe 2 years in luxury. And so I think we're at that kind of benchmark. We're at that benchmark in the market where we are going to be having a shift. Now, for me, I love change. When change comes, I freaking chew it down because I happen to love change. There are a lot of people in the real estate and in many industries, this isn't just for real estate, but there are a lot of people during the good times, and I hate to say this, but there are a lot of people who are over leveraged. They've bought that extra car. They've maybe bought a house that's bigger than what they should have. They've maybe booked those, expensive trips and bought those Chanel and Gucci bags. And people, it's amazing. I remember seeing this in the music business as well. When the good times are happening, people feel the bad times are never going to come around again. Now, the bad times are knocking at the door right now. It isn't going to be 2008, but it is going to be leaner times. So that's where I lick my chops. Because what I see happening is those of us that have the skill set, and I'm going to get into this a little bit more, those of us that have the skill set to be able to navigate the new market without going, oh my God, what's happening? Those of us that can bust down our techniques to some old traditional methods are going to not only survive, we're going to flourish. And I hate to say this because there are probably some people that are watching this mantra right now. There's a lot of people going to be leaving a lot of industries, and there's a lot of people going to be leaving the real estate industry in the next 24 months. And I'm going to do everything in my power of using this medium to give everything away so that everybody can have the best shot they possibly can of surviving. I want to talk about, there is a phenomenon which I nickname PNS, which is the phenomenon, the priority, it's a phenomenon, but it's the priority of neck saving. So case in point is this. Now, I'm an indie, I've always been an indie, I'm an indie at heart, so forgive me, I'm not meaning to bash the corporates here. But the case in point is this. I worked at a huge corporate company the last time there was a shift, and the details of how to operate in that shift really didn't kind of be put in my hands as a newer agent until I was neck deep in it. And I'm like, this is not good. So the priority of neck saving is this. If you work at, and I'm not, please don't hate me for saying this, it's my opinion, and I don't really care if you hate me. If you work at a huge corporate company, the priority of neck saving is the people at the top are going to try and save their necks first, and then the people at the bottom are going to find out last. And unfortunately, if you're an agent, you're the last link in the chain. There's nobody after you. It all stops there. Case in point is this. When there was the huge takeover of Pacific Union by Compass, the agents found out at the same time as the rest of the world. Now, I'm not bashing Compass and I'm not bashing Pacific Union, but what I'm saying is there is a corporate mentality of when the shit hits the fan that people scramble, try and figure out a strategy, and then when there's an army beneath them, they just figure a lot of those people are going to die. So what I really, really want to get into is, hang on, I hate it when it keeps closing on me. Please don't keep closing. When agents require new tools, and again, screw it. I am an indie, and I'll always be an indie, and I'm an indie thinker, and it's just the way I am. If I was a new agent, I want to be shoulder to shoulder with the guy who is going to lose everything unless he shows me what to do. So this is where the indies, I believe, in the next 10 years are gonna absolutely flourish because they have everything to lose. Whereas the huge corporates, we hear stories about, hundreds of millions of dollars being raised for certain companies. Now, yes, it's investment money, but investment money still comes with a board of directors, and that board of directors will change navigation whether the company want them to change navigation or not. Whereas if you are working under an indie that works in a specific market who has got everything to lose, you can bet your ass that they are going to give you every last gasp of attention to make sure that you succeed. Okay? Now, there is this myth where investment dollars don't need to be paid back. No, they don't need to be paid back. But as I just said, the navigation of the boat will utterly be changed when the market shifts. Now, bank loans don't need to be paid back either, because you can just file Chapter 11 and not pay a bank back. So the argument there, I think, is full of holes. There's a really important part. I want to talk now about. Let's talk about the perception of the public, okay? Because those of us in the industry, right? I can tell Remax apart from Century 21, from Compass, from Keller Williams, from PLG, from whomever. I can tell the companies apart. Guess what? Joe Public cannot. Joe Public can't tell the difference of any agents and where they work. They don't know the nuances that we all know that separate the companies. What the public are going to utterly rely upon is how an agent sells themselves. If you line up 100 agents, we can probably tell the difference in 5 minutes by talking to them, but the public can't. So when we are in an industry where there's a lot of over leverage, and I don't just mean personal over leverage, I mean corporate over leverage. For those of us that have indie entrepreneurial minds, now is the frickin' time, people. Get ready, because this is a moment I have been waiting for several years, because I'm seeing it happening and I'm seeing people doing this. Ooh, what's gonna happen next year? You know, I'm sensing the market changing. Ooh, what's gonna happen next year? And this is the time I lick my chops, I sharpen my fangs, and I fricking charge. Because when there is confusion or blood in the streets, as Warren Buffett says, that is when I go bonkers. And so, what is, in this very long rant of mine, what is the number one asset in the economic shift? The number one asset is your self-promotion. Self-promotion. Using the internet as your own PR agent. I look at all of these other companies. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, and I don't mind being wrong. And somebody might wave their finger in my face and say, you were completely wrong, mate. I have no problem with that. I have no agenda. My only agenda is to try and give away as much information as I can. But one thing I believe to my absolute bones is those real estate agents who allow their companies to do all of their social media for them, when the shift comes, and it's already beginning, will die a very slow, painful, vanilla death. And those of us that have used the tools that are out there to self-promote and use the internet as our own PR agent will not only thrive, we will flourish. Because the phrase you've heard me say over and over and over again is, if you don't blend in, you stand out. And at PLG, we've created a company where everyone stands out. And so if there's a line of 100 agents, or let's just use 10, a seller is going to sell their house, they've interviewed 10 agents. Do you think they give a toss which company they're at? They don't. The first thing the seller is gonna do is go on their social media. And if their social media is on point and has a personality and sells who they are and sells what they're about, then they might go to the website. But guess what, folks? If your social media is not on point, when the market shifts, I don't think they're even gonna get to your website. They want to know what you're about in 360 degrees, as I've spoken about a million times. So, let's now talk about the top 3 tools. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna do it. The top 3 tools are this. I'm gonna show you right freaking now. The top 3 tools for you to flourish in the economic shift. Now, there is a precursor to this, which is you still gotta do the work, you still gotta do the prospecting, you still gotta bust your ass, you still got to take people out. You still got to sit open houses. You still got to do what we do. But if you are not using the following 3 tools, Within 3 years, I think you'll be out the business. Or rather, no, let me rephrase this. Not within 3 years. Within 5 years, I think you're going to see a decline. Some of the top dogs will never use the techniques that I rant about, and they'll be fine. But what if you are an agent? What if you're not a top dog? What if you're not in the top 5% at your company? What if you're in the middle, right? And you're not standing out, but you're doing a fair trade? And what if worse still, you're kind of on the bottom rung and you have no personality through your social media? So the top 3 tools that you need to use in order to flourish in the economic change and shift that is occurring, I'm going to give you tool number 1. This. You use this or you're dead. I'm going to show you the second tool. Tool number 2, use this or you're dead. And tool number 3, guess what it is? You use this or you're dead. There has never been a better time. Please mark my words. There has never been a better time for the entrepreneurial spirit. It is wide open. In real estate, which has 2 million agents in the United States, approximately, there are barely any who are doing great social media. Let me just stop that for a second. Okay, a call came in. I'm going to keep going. Hopefully I'm still going on Instagram. Hopefully I'm still going. I have a feeling I probably am. Oh. Okay, I'm going to keep rocking. Yep, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. And we're back. Out of 2 million people, imagine 2 million freaking people. Out of 2 million people, I think there is less than 0.1% of agents that are really, really carefully procuring who they are and what they're about. Please don't mistake this for business today. You are future-proofing your industry. You are future-proofing who you are, because there are a whole gangload of newer agents that know their way around social media, and once they get their foot on the ladder, all those folks that are in 2018 thinking, I'll get to it, they're going to be gone. Because a kid that is 18 now is going to be 23 in 5 years, and they are going to be blazing past a lot of people who are in our industry. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. The number 1 asset to protect you and make you flourish in the economic shift is to use the internet as your own personal PR company. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for another Monday Mantra. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, Instagram. Lots of great people on there. Yahoo, Scott. Thank you, Facebook. If anybody needs anything, if anybody wants anything, if anybody thinks of anything, you can ping, email, text, carrier pigeon, smoke signals, whatever you prefer, and it will be my pleasure to assist. Work on who you are. You're future-proofing your business. I'll see you next week. Lots of love.